r/askreddit, what should every driver have in their car? Because you never know when you'll have to jumpstart someone else's car and play the role of knight in shining armor, but with a flashlight. Extra set of clothes. Or a big coat or blanket for cold weather. It's uncomfortable, and could be potentially life-threatening to have your car die out in the middle of nowhere when it's below freezing. My habit of just throwing my hoodies in my backseat will save me one day. Definitely this. My brake pipes burst a few years ago while dropping my family off shopping. When my missus asked why I wasn't getting out and checking to see what was wrong, I replied, because I'm wearing my Star Wars pajamas in the middle of our town center. Flares. A fire extinguisher. Chaff. A sexy passenger. Dude, you can't just call me out like that. A blanket. A few years ago my husband was driving home from work when he came upon a terrible accident. He mentioned how hard it was to move the injured and dead people until someone stopped who had a blanket, which made it much easier. From then on, we've always traveled with a blanket in the car as well as a first aid kit. A good steering wheel that doesn't whip out of the window while driving. It is a good idea, and I stand by it. If you live in a place where winters can get below freezing, a blanket. It can be the difference between keeping and losing your toes. A pen. Also a sharpened pencil. If the temperature gets cold enough, the ink inside a pen will freeze. Gasoline. Good call, I love huffing gasoline while driving. Fire extinguisher, and then hope that you won't ever need it. Shit kit, wipes, extra underwear, shorts, t-shirt. I used to have an oh shit bag which contained a change of clothes for my children, wipes and a bottle of water. That's the most terrible reason to need a blanket in the car, sad face. Flashlight, first aid kit, food, and water for 3 days, depending on location, weather, etc. Spare tire and jack, change of clothes. Most cars have a spare tire and jack and hardware, but most drivers don't maintain those or have a clue how to use them. So I'd add to this, learn where your car's emergency kit is, and have your spare tire checked every time you have your other 4 tires checked or replaced. Attorney here. I strongly suggest keeping a strong bottle of alcohol in your glove compartment. That way when you are out drunk driving and get pulled over, just pull out that bad boy and start chugging. That way cops won't be able to prove you were drunk before they started. Note, don't actually do this. Also, it's astonishing the number of people who have told me about this life hack and think it is a legitimate trick that would work. Hint, it won't. Why not? A seed. Tissues. You don't want to wipe that sneeze on your sleeve. Umbrella. If you live somewhere with a lot of snow, kitty litter is great for getting your tires unstuck. May even work in mud, but I've never tried it. First aid kit, emergency blanket, engine, flashlight, seats, kidnapped victim, and an extra bottle of formula. I saw what you did there. A dash cam, too many scumbags who will try to ruin your day, plus helps with insurance if there is any damage which is not your fault. Jumper cables, to beat someone with. A roll of toilet paper. You never know when you might need it. Registration, insurance, copy of insurance and registration, window breaker tool, ice scraper, if you live in a very cold area, jumper cables, tire iron, car jack with car jack stands, and blanket/rain jacket, a cheap raincoat you can just pack up into a fall essentially. Also, a good flashlight with batteries and jump starter kit. Cigarette lighter and charging adapter. When we went to the sea, there was no cigarette lighter with a charging adapter in the car, so we couldn't charge our phones and had to stop at every gas station to use the outlets there, wasting 25 to 30 minutes every half day. Why didn't you just buy an adapter at the first gas station? A hidden bottle of Captain Morgan. A steering wheel. A great steering wheel that doesn't whip out the window while I'm driving. Blinker fluid. Unless you own a BMW. Actually thought about this after some asshole cut in front of me and kept hitting their brakes hard. I didn't do anything to provoke them, I slowed way down and watched them speed up quick, get in front of someone else and do the same thing. Think they were trying to bait people into rear-ending them. A steering wheel. Go-go juice and a way to transmit that energy into Gaggenau. Full emergency kit, dash-mounted belt cutter, change of clothes, and toiletry kit with toothpaste, toothbrush, and amp, deodorant. A good co-driver. Jumper cables, and a spare tire for sure, preferably inflated. A couple of bottles of water in case you get stranded or the car overheats. A jack. Probably windows, that's a big one for me. A roadside emergency kit with first aid, flashlight, flares, jumper cables and all that stuff. You never know when you'll need it, but you'll be glad AF to have it when it does become necessary. A dash cam. Proof of registration and insurance. Jumper cables. Water. Flashlights. Portable air pump, or whatever those things are called. Blankets. Snacks. Tools. Flares. Portable phone charger. A backpack with spare clothes and first aid kit, also a pair of shoes and a pump that connects to my 12V cigarette lighter charger. Also keep my spare tire inflated to the right side. Uniquely American requirements. Also their license. A lot of people leave home without it all the time and they're just tempting fate emo. A good flashlight, and one of those little jump starter batteries, which often have a flashlight built in. And of course, a spare tire and a jack.